All right, so we're going to go ahead and build our very first circuit, and to do that we need to first kind of dissect the wiring diagram that you guys have in Schoology. Now, a wiring diagram is kind of like a blueprint for an electrical circuit, and we've already done the symbols. You've already recorded the different codes for each of the components, so I'm just going to draw them out, explain what each one was or is, how it works, and then we're going to go ahead and actually build this thing. So we always have to start off reading a diagram by looking for the power source. And we already know that this symbol here that I've drawn is a battery. So just two of these lines together equals one battery, which means right here it's telling me I need two batteries. I've got a battery pack with two batteries in it because that's what the diagram is telling me I need. Now the lawn wire, the lawn end here of the symbol shows us the positive end. The small side shows us the negative end. So the way in which this is oriented tells us the way in which the power source needs to be oriented, because there's a long one here and a short one here, positive, negative. Just like on a battery, you've got positive and negative. From there, our wire is going to carry, and wire could be actual wire, or it could be the metal strips on a breadboard even. We'll see how that looks. But the wire carries down the electricity, and then it turns into this resistor. Right? That's the code for a resistor. Ordinarily, it would tell us how many ohms the resistor needs to resist, but this one doesn't tell us that, so we're going to have to calculate it. Now, if we carry the wire up this way, we see that there is a kind of an arrow, like a play symbol, and then on top we've got this line here. This is a diode. Remember, that's the code for a diode, and it shows that the electricity flows through this way, like this direction, the way of the arrow, but it can't this way because that wall that's there. There's also these arrows that are on the side here. This is emitting light. So it's a light emitting diode, or an LED. That's this guy right here. The wire then carries the electricity back to the power source and completes our circuit. So before we can move on, I just want to show you two things. Number one, this is what the LED looks like. So we've got two ends on here. We've got a long end and a short end. The long end, the anode, is the one that carries, it receives the power. So it's going to go on this side. The electricity will flow through, and then it goes out the cathode, and it goes the short side. So the long end is the one that needs to be aimed to receive the power. Over here, we've got our resistor that we need to calculate. So let's go ahead and do that. Now the equation, you can look in your notebook, is R equals V over I. So resistance is equal to voltage divided by the current. I'm going to tell you that the current for this LED is about 0.03 amps. That's how many it'll draw. That's how many it can safely accept. Now we have two batteries, which means that each one of them, or whatever the value of one battery is, we need to double it. And that's 1.5 volts times 2 is 3. So our voltage is 3. Now if you do the math and divide 3 by 0.03, that's going to leave us with 100 ohms. So we need a resistor that can resist 100 ohms. The resistor that I've got here, so this means that I need to have at least 100 ohm resistance. If I don't, then I could fry the bulb out. So if I take a look at this one, I've got red, red, brown, which was 2 times 10. So 22 times 10 is 220. This is double what I need, which means that it's going to dim the bulb a bit. Not enough energy will get there, but it will still light up the right way. So we can go ahead and use this. If I had lower than 100, though, I would be careful against using that because it could mean that I fry my bulb out. So let's go ahead and grab a breadboard. We're going to grab some of our components here. We're going to start wiring this bad boy up. So I've aimed it so that way row 1 is on top, row 30 is on bottom, which means I have my two vertical columns on each side, and then I've got my 30 horizontal in the middle, and then 30 over here as well. We're going to go ahead and connect our power supply first. The red line, remember, is your power supply, so we're going to go ahead and connect the red line. I'm going to do it on this end, so that way I have enough room. Oh man, this thing is kind of popping back out. I have enough room. Now I can plug it into any hole on this side, and this entire metal strip is going to carry electricity. Remember, we drew that out on our breadboard diagram. The neutral wire, I'm going to go ahead and connect anywhere on the blue side on the complete opposite end. You don't have to do it this way, but I am, just so that way we have enough space to work with our components and you can see everything pretty clearly. Oh my lord, this thing doesn't want to stay in here. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have power being supplied to this strip, we have power returning through this strip, but we need to create a bridge between these two to complete the loop because right now it's an open circuit. So I'm going to take next my resistor, and the resistor can plug in anywhere on this red line. I'm just going to go ahead and plug it in down here so that way you can see. And I need this to act kind of like a bridge for the electricity. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in any row. Doesn't matter which one for now. I'm going to just choose 21, how about? But again, it doesn't matter. Because what's going to happen now is the electricity is going to come from the batteries through the red wire down this metal strip. The resistor will pick it up like a bridge and carry it over, and now all of line 21 here is electrified. Whatever line you put it on, that one is now electrified. That means I can add my LED as a bridge. Remember, the lawn end receives power, so I'm going to put the lawn end, that's this one, anywhere on line 21, doesn't matter where, anywhere on line 21, because it's now going to be part of this bridge series. And then the other part, I just have to plug in on anywhere on this blue line, and then that will allow the electricity to shoot up the wire to the black wire, and it completes my loop. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do it. You'll see the light will turn on. Ding. I'm going to actually plug this in. There we go. Plug it in nice and good. So now the electricity flows through the red wire into this strip. The resistor picks it up from that strip, acts like a bridge, carries it to row 21. The LED picks it up on row 21, puts it through the bulb, down to this blue line on the right, carries it to the black wire, and back to my battery pack. So there you go, and I can move these wires anywhere on these lines and they're still going to work because it's still providing electricity to the same piece of metal. I'm going to have you go ahead, try building one, and call me over when you're done so we can take a look.